as somebody who exists and operates outside the realm of BJJ, what it looks like is that on the ground, weight definitely matters. That's what it looks like, watching from a layman's perspective, I guess. And I also feel like it's not necessarily in these fights, but at some stage, right, weight on the ground plays a massive role. The bigger the difference in weight becomes between two opponents, because at some point, no matter how much knowledge, technique, and leverage that you can employ, you're just not going to get up if somebody who's 15 to 20 kilograms heavier than you is lying on top of you and has a semblance or a semblance of an idea of how to operate on the ground.
Especially a black belt. So it's when you're on the ground, yeah, definitely. Weight does matter. I mean, myself, when I'm training, most of the people I'm training against are heavier than me. It's just a fact of life. And yeah, obviously, the heavier they are, the more they're able to use their weight against me. However, there is an element of speed that you have to take into account. I can very often dominate people that are larger than me, applying my advantage of speed agility. This is a jiu-jitsu game. This is purely jiu-jitsu, no strikes involved. Jan did a very good job of keeping Izzy on the ground in half guard, in a position that's difficult to escape out of. It requires you to engage your bottom, either your legs or your upper body. One, either to keep the person away or at bay, but in the MMA, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be keeping them in close to prevent the strikes from having any power. So it's sort of the opposite of what you would be doing in BJJ. In BJJ, you'll be keeping a guy off of you using your shields. In MMA, it's the opposite. You want to keep the guy as close as possible until you can get into a more advantageous position.
Because of the threat of strikes.
Exactly. So that's what was keeping Izzy at bay is the strikes of Jan. He just kept him in a really good half guard, stayed heavy on that leg that was between his legs, and just kept pounding away whenever Izzy tried to do anything from that position. Obviously, apart from the striking game, but we're talking ground. It had less to do with the weight, I think, and more to do with his ability to control Izzy on the ground. That you might think that size difference is a lot on the ground. It is only a big difference when there's a much bigger difference in terms of weight. It really was a difference of skill rather than a difference of weight when it came to who dominated that fight on the ground.